There's a damn good reason Trump and his cronies only yap on Fox News, and why Carolyn Leavitt's dragging those online propaganda peddlers into the White House to throw her softball questions. It's cause this administration can't handle the heat of real journalists and real questions. And the proof, Trump's interview with Kristen Welker today, where a simple question about upholding the damn Constitution sent him into a full-blown meltdown. Trump can't stomach any accountability, any real questioning, any actual journalism. That's why he lost his damn mind in this interview. We're gonna break it all down, but first hit that like button, and if you ain't already, subscribe to the channel, cause it helps us keep this damn show going. Now, we're gonna dissect that question about Trump's attacks on the Constitution, but let's start with Welker asking him why he's blaming Biden for his own economic screw-ups.
Better than expected job numbers.
Much better.
At the same time, the economy shrank in the first quarter. You've been arguing all week that this is President Biden's economy. Is this now your economy, sir?
Well, I think certain aspects of it are. Costs are. I was able to get down the costs, but even that, it takes a while to get them down, but we got them down good. We lost $5 to $6 billion a day with Biden. $5 to $6 billion. And I've got that down to a great number right now in a record time. You know, we're talking about 100 days. But just think of what that is. $5 billion a day we're losing on trade. And we were very tough with China, as you know. We put 145% tariff on. Nobody's ever heard of such a thing. And we've essentially cut off trade relationships by putting that much of a tariff on.
Man, that stupid-ass answer shouldn't surprise anyone. Trump's blaming Biden, but then he's also taking credit, and those parts he's talking about change every damn day. One day he's blaming Biden for the stock market tanking, the next he's tweeting from the White House that it's soaring, and if you panicked, you're just too damn dumb to trust him. Then, boom, the market tanks again. So which is it, Trump? Are you just gonna flip-flop on who's responsible depending on the damn weather? This goes back to my whole thing about those stupid tariffs. We all knew they were a disaster, but I didn't realize the messaging would be this damn messy. They can't even stick to the same damn lie. But there's one thing they're consistent on, their insane immigration plan.
Your Secretary of State says everyone who's here, citizens and non-citizens, deserve due process. Do you agree, Mr. President?
I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know.
Well, the Fifth Amendment says
I don't know. It might say that, but if you're talking about that, then we'd have to have 1 million or 2 million or 3 million trials. We have thousands of people that are some murderers and some drug dealers and some of the worst people on earth. But some of the worst, most dangerous people on earth. And I was elected to get them the hell out of here, and the courts are holding me from doing it.
But even given those numbers that you're talking about, don't you need to uphold the Constitution of the United States as president?
I don't know. I have to respond by saying again, I have brilliant lawyers that work for me, and they are going to obviously follow what the Supreme Court said. What you said is not what I heard the Supreme Court said. They have a different interpretation.
Trump keeps spewing this crap about not having the time or resources. Well, here's a thought. How about passing that bipartisan border deal that Kamala Harris was pushing? You know, the one you killed. That would mean more immigration judges, more asylum claims being processed faster. But nah, we only want efficient government when it means gutting the agencies holding Elon Musk accountable for his company's shady crap. We don't actually want to fix the damn immigration system, cause we'd rather whine about it than do something. No, we'd never actually solve a problem. That's the Trump administration for you, abusing every ounce of power they can get their grubby hands on. And that became crystal clear when Trump was asked if he thought he needed to uphold the Constitution. Listen to this mess.
In a 9-0 decision, the Supreme Court directed your administration to facilitate the return, you've talked about this in the past, of Kilmar Abrego Garcia from a prison in El Salvador, whose deportation your administration called an administrative error. You said in a recent interview you could bring him back, but you won't. Are you defying the Supreme Court, sir?
No, I'm relying on the Attorney General of the United States, Pam Bondi, who's very capable, doing a great job, because I'm not involved in the legality or the illegality. I have lawyers to do that, and that's why I have a great DOJ. We have a great one. We had a very corrupt one before. Now we have a great one. And they're not viewing the decision the way you said it. They don't view it that way at all. They think it's a totally different decision.
Well, you say you have the power to bring him back, though. Your attorney general says, quote, that's up to El Salvador. Just to put a fine point on this, do you have the power to bring Abrego Garcia back as the Supreme Court?
Well, I have
order?
the power to ask for him to come back if I'm instructed by the attorney general that it's legal to do so. But the decision as to whether or not he should come back will be the head of El Salvador. Is a very capable man.
Well, you know, and your attorney general has said the issue is with that word facilitate. Will you seek clarification from the Supreme Court? Do you need to go back to the Supreme Court?
We may do that. I was asking about that. We may do that.
Your Secretary of State says everyone who's here, citizens and non-citizens, deserve due process. Do you agree, Mr. President?
I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know.
Well, the Fifth Amendment says
I don't know. It might say that, but if you're talking about that, then we'd have to have 1 million or 2 million or 3 million trials. We have thousands of people that are some murderers and some drug dealers and some of the worst people on earth.
But
some of the worst, most dangerous people on earth. And I was elected to get them the hell out of here, and the courts are holding me from doing it.
But even given those numbers that you're talking about, don't you need to uphold the Constitution of the United States as president?
I don't know. I have to respond by saying again, I have brilliant lawyers that work for me, and they are going to obviously follow what the Supreme Court said. What you said is not what I heard the Supreme Court said. They have a different interpretation.
He said, I don't know. That's Trump's actual response when asked if he needs to uphold the damn Constitution. I don't know. And then he tries to play the I'm not a lawyer card, like that's some kind of excuse. When it suits his damn agenda, he acts like he's got unlimited power. He breaks the law every day without a second thought. But when it comes to throwing his political enemies in El Salvador prisons, or investigating his opponents, or lining his own damn pockets, there's no I don't know. No hesitation. No, maybe we should think this through. Nope, it's full steam ahead. And speaking of full steam ahead with corruption, Trump made it crystal clear who these tariffs are really benefiting when he was asked about small businesses.
Are you considering tariff relief for small businesses?
Why do you always mention that, you know, you pick up a couple of little businesses? What about the car business? They're going to make a fortune because of the tariffs. Do you know that the union, the head of the union, who was no fan of mine, Sean Fain, I guess his name is, right? He didn't endorse me. The Teamsters did. A lot of people did. A lot of unions did. But he didn't. He couldn't stand me. Now he's saying, wow, what Trump's done for the automobile, I can't believe it.
First off, it's a dead giveaway when someone talks tariffs and brings up car manufacturers selling American cars overseas. I mean, a Ford Raptor ain't exactly fitting down those tiny European streets. So this whole idea of shipping giant trucks to Europe, one, it's damn ridiculous because of the size, and two, it ignores those pesky emission standards, which Trump wants to weaken, making it even harder to sell American cars over there. So let's just get that car thing straight. But back to what Trump said about small businesses. Will he give them a break? Hell no. Why? Because they can't bribe him. That's what these tariffs are really about. If you're a Fortune 500 CEO needing an exemption, you can waltz down to Mar-a-Lago, drop $5 million bucks, have a fancy dinner with Trump, donate big to his library, buy 100 million in his meme coin. He'll shake your hand and say, sure, we'll hook you up. But small businesses can't do that. That's why Trump doesn't give a damn. He spent his whole life screwing over small businesses, and now they can't help him, so he couldn't care less. And speaking of not caring, he seems to have forgotten one of his biggest campaign promises.
Are you any closer to reaching a peace agreement between Ukraine and Russia?
I hope so.
How would you
I
characterize
do believe
it?
we're closer with one party and maybe not as close with the other, but we'll have to see. I'd like to not say which one we're closer to, but we did do a deal for the American people that was good. We were able to get rare earth. You know, the Europeans are getting paid back. They have a loan. We didn't. Biden just gave him $350 billion. He has no idea where the money is, what happened.
Man, it's so damn obvious how much Trump sucks up to Putin in everything he does. He's basically saying, yeah, we kind of like those guys, the dictators, the democracies, not so much. It's just damn embarrassing every time he opens his mouth. And where are those pro-Ukraine Republicans in Congress? This is humiliating for them too. When Jasmine Crockett asked them to raise their hands in a committee hearing, you know, raise your hand if you think Russia invaded Ukraine, and they refused, spineless cowards. And this goes for so many damn issues where Republicans would have thrown a full-blown tantrum if it had been Biden. And the best example of that, Jake Tapper cornering Ron Johnson right here.
But President Trump is out there instructing his IRS to target Harvard, and you've been very outspoken about when targeting was done of conservative groups during the Obama years, which he apologized for ultimately. And I'm wondering if you are also upset at this.
Well, in the past, people have used tax-exempt status on churches and religious universities as well. Again, that's why I don't like a complex tax code. I don't want anybody to be using the tax code in this type of manner. And so what I'd say is let's simplify the tax code.
Well, if Biden had pulled any of this crap, Republicans, Fox News, the whole damn MAGA circus would be losing their minds. They'd be screaming bloody murder. Trump gets prosecuted for his own damn crimes, and they call it the biggest government overreach ever, a political witch hunt. But Trump's sicking his goons on a university because they won't bow down to his attempts to control their curriculum and student body. That's totally fine. Apparently, this is a full-blown attack on free speech, something Republicans clearly don't give a damn about. And that's a damn good reminder. Never take these people seriously. They have no values, no consistent beliefs. They're just a bunch of hypocrites. Don't trust them, ever. And we sure as hell ain't gonna on this show. We're gonna call them out every damn day. And if you want to support that, hit that subscribe button, give this video a like. And if you stuck around till the end, drop a blue heart in the damn comments. Until next time, I'll see you soon.